izleyiciler, gelin hemen Ankara Büyükelçisi Hindistan'ın Sanjay Bhattacharyya ile yaptığımız çok özel söyleşiye bir uzanalım. Bakın, Hindistan'ın Türkiye'deki en önemli üst düzey yetkilisinden bahsediyoruz. Ve Türk medyasında ilk kez Bakış Açısı programına konuştu.
Welcome to our Bakış Açısı program. Firstly, I would ask about the Pakistan and India's problem. It happened 2 weeks ago. So, what do you think about this problem?
As you probably know, the issue is something that goes back much further. For the last several decades, over 30 years, India has been facing the problem of cross-border terrorism. Terrorists coming from Pakistan, terrorists who are trained by Pakistan and sponsored by them, coming into different parts of India and causing terrorist acts. This is something that has grown over time. Our security forces have been dealing with it, but it has led to untold misery to the people of Kashmir in particular, who are facing the tragedy of the events of terrorist activities from Pakistan. As you mentioned, on the 14th of February, there was a terrorist attack on a paramilitary convoy. A suicide bomber rammed into this particular convoy, claiming over 40 lives of our security forces. We greatly appreciate the fact that the government of Turkey issued a statement immediately condemning the heinous terrorist act. This was an act that was committed by a terrorist group that is based in Pakistan called the Jaish-e-Mohammed. The suicide bomber, and suicide bombers cannot be condoned in any way, was trained by them, and the Jaish-e-Mohammed put out an item claiming responsibility for this terrorist act. And this was subsequently accepted by another terrorist group, the Lashkar-e-Toiba. The suicide bomber himself had put out a video of his own, which he had prepared before this terrorist attack. This was a heinous crime. Of course, the Indian security forces took many measures. We rounded up the 3 ringleaders, the masterminds, the commanders of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, who had engineered this particular terrorist attack and had trained that suicide bomber. But what happened subsequently is of equal importance, because we received credible information that Jaish-e-Mohammed was planning another terrorist strike in India. And therefore, we took a preemptive counter-terrorism attack in which we bombed the training camp, the largest training camp of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. And this was on the 26th, if I recall. Unfortunately, on the 27th, the Pakistani Air Force tried to attack our military installations. The difference must be realized. On the 26th, we had engaged in a counter-terrorism attack on the Jaish-e-Mohammed training camp. We had not attacked the Pakistan military. We had not attacked any civilians. And we had attacked because despite years of providing information to the Pakistan side about terrorists, the terrorist camps and the movements of their leaders, Pakistan had taken no action. And so we took this preemptive strike ourselves. What needs to be noted is that the response to this counter-terrorist strike, which was a preemptive attack, Pakistan's was a military strike. And there is a significant difference in that. And in this, there was an aerial combat in which one Pakistani fighter aircraft was shot down. Unfortunately, one Indian fighter aircraft was also shot down.
But what do you think about the Turkey's hubs about this problem? 2 days ago, Çavuşoğlu said that we help to Pakistan and Hindistan to solve this problem. So what do you think about it?
I think the global community realizes and recognizes what is the cause of this problem. The cause of this problem is Pakistan's persistent support to terrorism and to terrorist groups located in Pakistan, acting often with the support of Pakistan's authorities. This has been accepted in the United Nations, where many of the terrorist groups based in Pakistan have been proscribed by the United Nations, and in the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force Against Financing of Terrorism, which has drawn up an action plan for Pakistan to implement, in which they have not only pointed out that there are terrorist groups operating in Pakistan, but has outlined an action plan for Pakistan to implement resolutely and sincerely these efforts to break the stranglehold of terrorism. The FATF action plan was developed in consultation with all countries, including Turkey, which had supported it. And Pakistan was supposed to comply with certain measures by January of this year. Unfortunately, Pakistan did not. And therefore, on the 22nd of February, when the Financial Action Task Force met in Paris, and Turkey again was a member of that, Pakistan was told that by the next deadline of May, it must show better effort in full compliance in its work against terrorists. So I think the international community is very clear as to what Pakistan has to do. It has to stop support to terrorists, and it has to round up and dismantle the infrastructure of terrorism. As you probably know, India and Pakistan have a number of agreements under which, particularly the Shimla and the Lahore agreements, under which these matters are supposed to be discussed bilaterally. At the same time, we also understand that there are many friendly countries, like Turkey, for instance, which can play an important role in telling Pakistan that they must stop their support to terrorism. Like all the rest of the world is doing and Turkey is doing, I'm sure Pakistan will finally stop its support to terrorism, and Turkey can play an important role in this matter.
Evet, Hindistan Büyükelçisi Türkiye'ye önemli bir görev düştüğünü söylüyor. Türk televizyonlarında ilk kez bakış açısına açıklama yaptı sevgili izleyiciler. Tabii röportajı Sibel Mazrek arkadaşımız Ankara'da gerçekleştirdi. Osman Tığraklı ve Muhammed Kutlu'nun koordinasyonunda çok özel röportaj daha bugün sıcağı sıcağına sizlere aktardık. Hindistan'ın bakış açısını. Şimdi birazdan Pakistan'a döneceğiz. Pakistan'ın bakış açısına da bakacağız. Ancak şunu söyleyelim. Hindistan'ın Sayın Büyükelçisi Sanjay Bhattacharya'ya da içtenlikle teşekkür ediyorum.